Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF here at 4:45 a.m. And then here on, yes, Michael Datcher, YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today, we're talking about contemplation and productivity. What is the connection between contemplation and productivity, all right? For those of you who are new to the show, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com, see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. We also speak to individuals seeking to enhance their productivity output. All right, again, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com. Holla at us. For those of you who are new, allow me to say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, the author of the New York Times bestseller, Racing Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. I am also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, which is out just now, set 13 miles from Ferguson, where Michael Brown was murdered, and the conflagration, of course, that ensued originally there. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature is from University of California at Riverside. I'm the host of the weekly radio show, co-host called Beautiful Struggle on 90.7 FM, and also the president of the board at the World Stage Literary and Jazz Venue here in Los Angeles. I'm currently a professor of English literature at LMU here in Los Angeles. I'm an expert at being productive, right? I don't say that to brag or boast, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I'm the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a single divorcee who was amazing, yet at the time no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD, yet as Kool Modi famously said, you like me now. And if I can be this productive through joy, so can many of us who are watching the show, which in many ways inspires this show and also inspires our business. We like to work with people who have seen a little something about life. It just gives us more of a sense of, it just feels good to help people whose help could really transform their lives, right? As my life has been transformed by people helping me help myself. It's going to take each individual to take responsibility for whatever eventually transpires in their lives. But when you can help people help themselves, it feels great. So let's dive into the topic again. If you just tuned in, we're talking about contemplation and productivity. In the morning show, we like to also touch on the ideal of framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. At times, we wake up with trouble in our mind, as I did this morning, which I've been contemplating. But that can follow you throughout your day, through your months, through your weeks. It can be a problem that continues. So we like to help individuals in particular deal with that, because that's a very practical thing that we do, because we know what it's like. Once you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, or you're the one leading in some non-traditional way, you are going to encounter some challenge. That's just what it is. Not if, but when. And so when you can embrace that, and more stress and more pressure in many ways as well, when you can embrace that and let that work for you, it can be helpful. Many people allow the stress to make them medicate on alcohol primarily. That's our experience with talking to lots of entrepreneurs. That's a slippery slope to just destruction, family, health. You can just kind of go on down the list of things. So we know that's a fundamental practical problem. So we like to address things, as you'll see in this show, practically and fundamentally as well. So we help individuals deal with stress management by engaging in ritual. Ritual can be defined as doing the same thing at around the same time. So today, today, as we're talking about these things, we're talking about them in the context of creating a morning ritual, hopefully. So let me give you my brief morning ritual. So in the mornings, I wake up at 3:30 this morning. Each morning, including this morning, I read a couple of spiritual business books. I do our show right now at 4:45 a.m. At 5, I work on my current book until sunrise. At sunrise, I go out to the beach. I meditate, pray. I play in a way. Do yoga, play my drum. I come back, work on my book a while longer until and then go back to the beach to run up to the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, run all the way back here to Venice to get my beach to Venice Venice's Gold's Gym to get my workout in, to get my buff on. So by 10:30, I'm feeling amazing. My body is being flooded with endorphins, and that endorphin release gives me a sense of euphoria that I can then use to leverage to move me towards my goals and objectives. We're not saying do what I do. We're helping people do what they do. Anyway, so as a part of this time, I'm reading three great books now. One is called Owning the Moment, which is about just that thing, seizing and owning the moments. Cash in a Flash, which is kind of a book about a mixture of spirituality and entrepreneurial strategy. And then a book called The Nag Hammadi Reader, which is a book of a compendium of sacred writings, Gnostic texts primarily from the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd centuries. That book's amazing, really deep, insightful stuff. So from those three books that I'm reading now, I extract some wisdom, which I call the morning chant. Today's morning chant is, as a meditating natural mystic, I am abundance because I contemplate and seek God, then follow through on her guidance. All right. And so I think about that throughout my day. Then I place it on my phone, just kind of contemplating all those ideas. Then also create the morning and afternoon shows based upon that reading. So today we're talking about contemplation. All right. Go to productivethroughjoy.com. See about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations. Allow us to help you help yourself. All right. Let's dive in. So point one is that you want to be contemplative. I mean, you want to be a person who contemplates many things. That's just like a framework. You want to embrace that. Point two is you want to contemplate. We I always call it God, but the spirit, meaning contemplate, meaning think about, spend time, set aside some time thinking about, feeling about, considering what you want to cogitate. You want to think about how you think about God, right? Have a metacognitive time. So you want to think about what you're thinking about things, right? Including what I'll just call God. You can call it spirit, call it energy, call it Jesus, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you believe in as your higher power, spiritual beingness thing. I mean, I believe there's just one, but we can call it what you want to call it. So it's all good. You want to spend time doing that, and which goes to point three. As you do that, you want to begin to ask it questions, right? Answers, guidance. You want to really have that relationship, like I said, a real person who's sitting right in front of you, right? I know it sounds a little weird to be contemplating, asking, the universe or Jesus or whoever your belief system deity is, but we find that once you do that, those answers come to you in ways direct and indirect. So boom, goes the dynamite. That's all for today's show. Thanks for being here. Go to productivethroughjoy.com. Holler at me. Have me speak to your group, school, organization. Thanks for being here. Look for America's in bookstores everywhere right now. I'll be coming to you, a town near you, I'm sure, soon. Look for me on this book tour. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.